Nicole Sheeran from ONN affiliate WBNS TV in Columbus joins us to break down the Buckeyes' storied season. Let's start with the low note. Nicole, we know what that is. Do you believe the loss to Michigan on November 30th was psychological? Because Michigan certainly was not the better team this year.
Yeah, I definitely think that loss was not the Ohio State football team that we all know. Whether it's because they felt they had to win a certain way, they had to play a certain style of offense to kind of prove themselves in a certain way. I think that whole rivalry, a lot goes into it. There's a lot of pressure. There's a lot of other factors that go into that game, and I think all of those factors kind of piled into this Buckeye team. But this may sound crazy, but I think that loss to that team may have been the best thing that ever happened to Ohio State because of what we saw from them after that moment, which sounds crazy, but I really thought about it, and I really, really stand behind that statement.
Well, it sounds like it was a pull yourself up by your bootstraps moment for the team. I mean, I was a 1991 grad of the university. I'm a Life alumni, and the Michigan game is important. It's important to the fans. It's important to the alumni. It's important to the players, the coaches, the school, the whole 9 yards. And that loss can be exceptionally defeating. But they did not have a repeat of that mentality that they did last year. This year, they came out gunning.
Exactly.
So,
well, and that's why I think there was a certain fire that it lit, especially under those guys who came back for one more year. They came back to prove themselves and kind of right the wrongs from last season. And they had 3 goals, and 2 of those goals were just stripped away by what happened in that game. So I think it really lit a fire under these guys.
So the path to the championship began in Tennessee. The Tennessee game was a blowout. 42-17. Did you expect that to be such a lopsided game?
I didn't expect it to be a blowout, but I felt pretty confident that Ohio State was going to win that game just because the Tennessee's quarterback, the freshman Nico Iamaleava, he's good, but I knew that our defense was going to really just shut them down. They were going to rattle his cage. I was very confident in our receiver room up against Tennessee secondary. I felt pretty good that they were going to win, but no, I did not think it was going to be a blowout, especially being an SEC girl myself, going to school at Georgia. I'm familiar with, SEC play, watching Tennessee play over the years, and Tennessee's consistently been a good program, so I was not expecting it to be the way that it ended up.
Well, I think the home field advantage also impacted that game.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. That atmosphere was electric. Night game in the shoe, the red lights, the drone show, it was loud. It was awesome. Shout out to Buckeye Nation and the entire Ohio State Athletics, staff for just pulling out all the stops for that. It was great.
So off we go to the Rose Bowl, and we're facing a team that we lost to by 1 point on October 12th, only to turn it around with almost another blowout win, 41-21 over Oregon. Do you think that was a revenge win?
I do. I think not only was it a revenge win, but I think Ohio State learned how to handle Oregon. I think they knew what they needed to do to beat that team. I think the defense knew what they needed to do against Dillon Gabriel. They sacked him, 8 times? Or was it 6 times? Something like that. A big number. They learned what it was going to take to shut down Oregon. And I think a lot of that was because the first time they played them, they played well. It wasn't like it was a bad game, but I think they learned how to handle, especially Oregon's receivers. I think our secondary really turned things around that game because the first time they played Oregon, our secondary struggled against their receivers. So I think they learned how to handle them. They learned how to contain Dillon Gabriel. Will Howard had a great game. The offense came out hot from literally the first snap.
Absolutely.
That's what you love to see, is when Ohio State is hot off the press, making plays. And that's after that game, that's when Will said that Chip Kelly was in his bag. And that's the perfect way to say that, because his play calling was great. They just were connecting on all cylinders. And I think not only was it a revenge game, but it was a game where they learned how to handle the Ducks, you know?
They went on to beat third-ranked Texas in the Cotton Bowl in what I call spectacular fashion. Even though it was 28-14, for my money, that was the game of the season. Do you think that particular game will be the one that's most remembered for this season?
I do agree with you. I think that game is going to be the one that's remembered, not only because they punched their ticket to the national title with that win, but because of the Jack Sawyer play, because of the storylines with Quinn Ewers and Jack and Quinn being roommates when he was in Columbus, and just kind of how that was not a blowout game. There was a point in the game where obviously it was tied, and I'm sure a lot of Buckeye Nation was thinking, are we going to win this game? So I think out of all the games, yes, I agree with you. That was the one. And they were back at the Cotton Bowl. The whole storyline was how they lost in the Cotton Bowl last year against Missouri. Like, there was so much on the line with that game, and it was just incredible to watch.
Monday, the Buckeyes won the national championship over Notre Dame, 34-23, capping the spectacular season. If you were to pick one adjective to describe this season for the Buckeyes, what would that be?
I truly think there's no better story in college football than the one that's the Buckeyes this year. Like, I truly believe that. Through all the years of football, I think this is right up there. And Ryan has said it all postseason. He said, your story's not told unless you win. And he's right. Like, think about if it didn't end up this way. The story isn't told the way it should be. So I think storybooks, that's what goes to my head. I've said it all the past few weeks about they're looking for the storybook ending, and they got it. So that's what comes to my head first.
All right, I want to thank Nicole Sheeran from WBNS TV, Channel 10 in Columbus for being with us. And there is more Ohio Sports Magazine straight ahead right here on the Ohio News Network.
Start Reaction Monday off in style with Bobby and Beam on Morning Juice. They're talking Buckeyes at 6:20, 7:20, and 8:20. And probably all the other minutes in between.
Reaction Monday is sponsored by the Roofing Guys.
The Fan.
At Meijer, we work hard to bring more of the good life to your life, so you can bring home more perfectly plump and flavorful produce picked for precise freshness, beautifully marbled beyond brag-worthy certified Angus beef, and more must-have money-saving M-Perks rewards. Because saving more on local favorites is good, but bringing home more of what you love in every trip, that's the good life. We do more to make life a good deal better at Meijer.
Through the magic of modern technology, I'm coming to you from inside your garbage disposal.
Hey, what are you doing down here?
I was telling folks about Who are you?
Garbage disposal monster. I eat the things people put in here. Nom 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 nom.
Oh?
Sometimes I get sick.
I was just about to say, the pros who knows from Apex are brilliant at fixing garbage disposals. You're really a monster?
Look here. These teeth,
Yeah?
they're all busted.
Oh.
They're for food, not forks. You hear up there?
Gee, what else?
Crazy noises like clingety, 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 clingety. Call Apex Pros.
Sure.
Sometimes I smell funny.
I didn't want to draw attention to it.
Call Apex Pros.
And what's going on now there?
Smoking. It's a bad habit. We're not supposed to smoke.
Well, you heard it straight from the garbage disposal monster.
Rawr.
Call the pros who knows. Apex Pros.
Hi, it's Alex, the Apex Bear. We are the pros who knows, the official plumber of the Columbus Blue Jackets. ApexPros.com.
Nom 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 nom.
At Planet Fitness, we're declaring it. This is the year of getting stronger. And future stronger you can get started now by saving $28 or more when you join today. You in? We have all the best in-class equipment you could ever need to keep stepping it up. And you can work out your way on your time at any convenient location near you. Most open 24 hours. So let's do this. Join Planet Fitness today and save $28 or more. Just $1 down, $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends January 31st. See Home Club for details.
Hey, can we talk? It's a new year and I need to move on. We had a great run, but you're old now. So I'm trading you in at Great Lakes Kia.
And new Kias are under $5 a day.
That's less than lunch.
Lease new Kia K4, K5, and Sorrentos. All three under $5 a day. at Great Lakes Kia.
That's only $149 a month for 24 months.
Yes, new 25 Kia K5 LXS, K4 LXS, and Sorrento LX. Standard with third row seating. All three under $5 a day.
That Kia Sorrento is hot.
And we've got 0% financing.
But what if I'm not good enough for credit?
If you've got a job, you ride.
Under $5 a day.
Great cars, great people, Great Lakes Kia. GreatLakesKia.com. Want to take it for a test drive?
Oh, he needs to meet my parents first. To qualified buyers, visit GreatLakesKia.com for details.
Save big on your next project right now at Menards. Get cleaner clothes and softer skin with Morton Water Softeners. Morton's Wi-Fi integration allows for tracking and alerts, which puts you in control of your water while at home or away. Morton's Look Ahead technology learns and predicts your water needs, saving you money. Save big on Morton Water Softeners. And don't forget to check out our weekly flyer on Menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
When you take a walk around your neighborhood and notice all the things that make it feel like home, like all the houses lie neatly together in a row, or your neighbor, Miss Rita, who always waves at you when you drive down the street, or that movie theater in the strip mall that might look a little worn down, but has the best popcorn you've ever tasted. One thing might be a little harder to notice, because somewhere tucked in that neat row of houses is hunger. It could be your next door neighbor, or your coworker, or your daughter's friend from school, because over 30 million Americans don't know where their next meal is coming from. Hunger lives in neighborhoods all around us, but it doesn't have to. Together, we can provide 1 billion meals by 2030, because everyone should be welcome at the table. Learn more at nourishingneighbors.com. Let's break the cycle of hunger together.
Buckeye games have been airing on WBNS since before you were born and before your parents were born and before Abraham Lincoln was born. Trust me. Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan. Now back to Ohio Sports Magazine on the Ohio News Network. Once again, here's Jay Fox.
The Columbus Crew and FC Cincinnati finished second and third, respectively, this past year in Major League Soccer. Neither team made it to the MLS Cup as the LA Galaxy defeated the New York Red Bulls to win the championship. The Red Bulls finished seventh in the Eastern Conference. The Galaxy finished second in the Western Conference. Neil Sika is a play-by-play announcer for MLS Season Pass and joins us now on Ohio Sports Magazine. Welcome, my friend.
Jay, always great to be with you. Hard to believe the season's only about a month away.
I know, right? So I got to say this. It looks like finishing with the best record doesn't guarantee an MLS Cup. How did LA and especially New York, how did the Red Bulls end up in the finals?
I think if you ask both Columbus and Cincinnati, based off their first-round playoff disappointments, it's New York, New Yuck, when you look at how things went for both of them. You know, for the Crew, I think they had played so many games with their run to the Leagues Cup final, winning Leagues Cup, the run to the Champions Cup final, the CONCACAF Champions Cup final. And I think that started to catch up with them at the tail end of the year. It's not that they played poorly. There were just some little instances, I thought, in games where they weren't as sharp as they needed to be. And you're approaching 50-some games by the tail end of the season. And the Red Bulls game, the series was a shocker. I think the fact that, you know, they won the home game, but the Red Bulls able to steal a game in those opening two and then to win on penalties. They were tough under Sandro Schwartz, and that's the difficulty of the MLS Cup playoffs. Now, the series in the first round is supposed to be a leeway for the team that's got the better record and the higher seed and the fact that you're playing a best of three as opposed to a single game. But it's a credit to a New York group that I think was very cagey at times and made it frustrating on opponents. And FC Cincinnati could probably feel the same way about the way New York City went about their business, winning on penalties in the third game.
Well, as you mentioned, we're about a month away from the start of the new season, so let's talk Crew. What are the Columbus Crew's priorities as they prepare for this new season and try to get back into that MLS Cup?
The chance of a CONCACAF Champions Cup, which they lost in the final, was still in the fold, and they were masterful in the Leagues Cup, and that gets them a bye into the round of 16. But I think priority number one, Jay, re-signing Cucho Hernandez. He wants a new contract. He's really happy in Columbus. I think that was the big off-season news. Would a bigger club or a club maybe in Mexico or in Europe come with a huge offer and transfer fee? There were rumors out there that Cucho Hernandez wants an $8 million salary. It's probably $2.5 million right about now. This is the final year of his contract. He's got an option. If he's happy there, you've got an MVP finalist. You got arguably one of the best players in the game. It's just so dominant, especially the stretch run and what he did in the second half of the season was remarkable. I think you have ownership that's willing to spend and find the right balance to get him a new deal and keep him in Columbus for the long term. These type of players, they don't grow on trees. Now, unless there's some preposterous offer of maybe, $15 to $20 million, and I don't think the Crew have seen that yet. Maybe it comes, but this is a guy I think you want long term. He's a generational type star, and there have been a few that have worn the badge in black and gold. But I think that's priority number one for Haslam ownership.
Yeah, Neil, he's not the only one that's coming to the end of the final season of a contract. Patrick Schulte, his rookie contract's about to end.
Yeah, and I think he's earned the merit of going beyond that rookie deal. Just called into the national team along with Max Arston and DeJuan Jones, but Schulte's quickly become a rising superstar within the domestic goalkeeping prowess. So he's another guy, I think, long term. You want the spine of the team. You win with a great spine, and whether that's Cucho at the sphere of it, Schulte at the back end, the battery in the middle. Darlington Nagbe has obviously been so great for so many years as is getting up there. So recalibrating and figuring out that process is still to come. But the bookends would make for another successful season in Columbus, and I think they'll have one.
Not to mention Aidan Morris and Rudy Camacho, of course.
Yeah, Nathan Morris is a guy that they hadn't replaced. I think that was one of the other big issues from the back half of the year. Camacho's been an excellent selection, but when you get a player like Aidan Morris's caliber and how well he's done in the English Championship with Middlesbrough and getting call-ups to the national team, I think that piece, that partnership with Nagbe was so invaluable. And they never really found a back half solution when he was transferred over early in the summer. So that's another thing I think they'll be shopping for in the window come 2025.
Do we need more depth at right wing back?
I think the brilliance of Wilfried Nancy is the ability that he can take players, mold them. If they're a natural winger, like Yaya Bo, who just signed with LAFC, was basically playing wing back at the tail end, but the emergence of Max Arston, and then you've got Dylan Chambeau. DeJuan Jones was just off with the national team. He's more of a left-sided wing back. He's taken Stephen Morar and made him a central defender who could play wing back in a pinch. I think you're always looking for guys who can play that position because it's such a key element and role in the Nancy system. So they'll always look at players, but within house, I think that's what the beauty of this Crew team has, the athleticism and flexibility, versatility to play guys in different spots, and not only to do that, but to do it well.
And the goalkeepers are essential to their success. Talk to me a little bit about Nicholas Hagen. He's got options for 27 and 28. He signed through 26. Is that enough?
Yeah, and I think they were even looking at a new deal for him with the fact that Evan Bush, who's coming back for, I think, one more season, that's a great, stable goalkeeping unit. Bush has had so many great years in MLS and a great tutor to the young player in Schulte. And then Hagen, like you said, he could be a starter probably for another team or emerge in that role. But the Crew are savvy. They've had a great job. They've done a wonderful job, whether it be Tim Bezbachenko or Issa Tall and all the scouting networks that they have to identify players, or at least players within the fabric of the region that could be guys who would be 1A at other teams, and to provide some depth. So I like where this group is rolling into 2025, and we'll see how they manage the competitions again, because it could be another season where they're pushing for some multiple trophies, not just one.
And in the Eastern Conference, it appears that Miami, Cincinnati, and Cleveland will be neck and neck all year.
Look, as long as Messi's playing for Miami, I think they're going to be the talk of being the favorites. They had the point total last year, 74, which was a record. Obviously, they flamed out in the playoffs, and it just shows how wild the MLS Cup playoffs are.
We want to thank Neil Sika, the play-by-play announcer for MLS Season Pass, for talking with us, and we will have more Ohio Sports Magazine next on the Ohio News Network.
Hey, folks, it's game day, and the betting's going to be intense, Drew.
You said it, Dave, but a good pregame routine keeps betting responsible.
That's right. You got to pause before you play.
Good call. Sports betting is hot, but it can be risky.
And pausing to set limits is an all-star move.
That's right, Dave. If you bet on sports, pause before you play to set limits, recognize the risk, and know when to stop.
Learn more at pausebeforeyouplay.org.
I don't know what I want to do. I'm just not sure that college is right for me. Have you considered a career in dental assisting? I love my job as a dental assistant. I have flexible work hours, the money is good, and I get to work in a professional, people-oriented dental office. What I really love about my job is knowing that I give people a healthy smile.
For more information about becoming a dental assistant, contact your high school guidance counselor. Or if you are no longer in school, talk to a dentist in your community or visit ODA.org. This message is brought to you by the members of the Ohio Dental Association.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy real estate as is fast for cash. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-472,000, 614-472,000. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family. I even buy my tenants won't pay me the rent houses. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-472,000, 614-472,000.
Sometimes the best time to prune trees is when they're dormant or with no leaves on them. For ISA certified arborists, it helps them see what branches may need to be pruned or removed. Dormant season pruning can also help lessen problems associated with insects and diseases and help create structurally stronger trees that can better handle heavy wet snows or ice buildup. Contact an ISA certified arborist to get the best professional advice on keeping your trees healthy and safe. Go to treesforohio.org. That's trees, the number 4, ohio.org.
Have you ever thought about having a podiatric physician examine your feet? Doctors of Podiatric Medicine set broken bones, perform wound care, and remove bunions. Common health issues that they treat include ingrown or fungal nails, corns, warts, and skin problems like athlete's foot. Foot exams are easy and can prevent many foot problems. If you can't walk, work, or enjoy sports activities without pain, what are you waiting for? To find a podiatric physician who is a member of the Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association, visit associationsadvanceohio.com.
And now, Public Education Matters with Ohio Education Association President Scott Tomorrow.
No matter what they look like, where they're from, or how much money their parents make, all students deserve a world-class education in their neighborhood public school. Tell your Ohio lawmakers to keep their promise to our kids and fully implement the Fair School Funding Plan with updated cost components in this year's state budget.
Public Education Matters, brought to you by the Ohio Education Association.
The Fan. Ohio sports destination. Now back to Ohio Sports Magazine on the Ohio News Network. Once again, here's Jay Fox.
During its January meeting last week, the Ohio High School Athletic Association Board of Directors voted unanimously to expand postseason tournament divisions in track and field and cross country. Tim Street is Director of Media Relations for the OHSSA and joins us now on Ohio Sports Magazine. Welcome, Tim.
Good morning, Jay. Great to be with you.
Always. What are the changes for track and field specifically?
Sure. Yeah, you are absolutely right that at our January board meeting, our board of directors unanimously approved a proposal to add divisions in cross country and track and field. And we've talked about this before because this is not the first time that our board has done this. It even started back, 10 years ago when we added another division in football. And then here last year, we added divisions in a lot of sports. We added divisions in the team sports of girls volleyball, girls and boys soccer, girls and boys basketball, baseball, and softball. And now we're adding divisions in those sports of cross country and track.
Is it because there are more students signing up, or is it because there are more schools, or is it a combination of the two?
Well, those are factors, but, it's very interesting that a lot of people will not know this, but in Ohio, for many, many years, decades, actually, Ohio has had 3 divisions in cross country and track and field, but we do have 818 high schools. And to put that many high schools into 3 divisions means that it is a very, very tall task for schools to advance through the tournament. And what people probably don't know is that in other states our size, those states have had more divisions in those sports than us for a long time. There are states that are similar to our size that have upwards of 6 and 7 divisions in track and field. And for a long time, Ohio has stood pat with only 3 divisions. And, the Track and Field Coaches Association has met with us for a long time about the fact that we are underrepresented when we get to the tournament. And our board and executive director, Doug Ute, I would say finally, they would probably say that too, finally took action to make Ohio more competitive with other states and how many divisions we have in cross country and track and field.
How did the process of making a monumental change like this occur? Was there conversation held with all the schools, or was it a representation of athletic directors? How did it come to be?
Yeah, it's a long process, and it does not involve conversations with every school, but it does involve conversations with our representatives on the board of directors, which come from the schools. That also comes with a lot of conversations with the Coaches Association. So all of our sports in Ohio have a Coaches Association where all the coaches in the state elect leaders. And the leaders of cross country and track and field have made headway with these proposals over the last several years. They would say that it's been on their front burner for a long time, and our current leadership was the one that said yes. Our current board of directors and our senior staff said, we agree, this is time. And but it takes, oh gosh, in terms of the formal proposal and approval process, it takes about a year because, the language of the proposal needs hammered out. And then there are several monthly meetings where conversation needs to happen, really studying the data of how does the tournament look if we would do this. And having that information in front of us is very important. And then eventually you do get to the time when we say, okay, at the next board meeting, we are going to move forward on this. So it does take quite a while. Our board and the OHSA in general does not typically move quickly on these type of things, and our membership does not want us to move quickly on these things. We've been in existence for about 120 years, and tradition and due process is definitely very important.
So you asked the question of the board, and I'm going to ask the question to you. How does this affect the tournaments? What will change?
There's not a huge change in cross country. We'll start with that. Basically we're adding another 2 races to our tournament dates. So instead of having 3 divisions, 6 races, we now have 4 divisions and 8 races. So essentially in cross country, there's not a huge change. It just adds 2 more races. Now in track and field, there will be a lot of change because track and field has a lot of events. You have a lot of qualifiers at the early round of the tournament, and that takes a lot of time. So essentially what we're doing is adding days to our district and regional competitions. We're going to add days, plural, to the state tournament. Typically right now, we need 2.5 days to do a 3-division tournament. We'll most likely need 5 days to run a 5-division tournament. So it's more expensive, certainly a lot more moving parts, but the end result is that we will have more schools and more individuals advance throughout the tournament and compete for a state title. That's the most important thing. But, in order to do that, you have to make sure you can afford to do it. You got to make sure you have enough sites to do it. And then try to put it all together and make sure we have enough officials, host sites, et cetera. But we think we do. We are confident that we can pull it off. I think in past years we would not have been able to pull it off, but now we can, and so we're very grateful for that.
So final question for you, Tim. When does this become rule of law? When does it go into effect?
Yeah, not right away. Yeah, good question. This takes effect next school year. And so that'll be the fall of 25 with cross country, and then the spring of 26 with track and field.
Okay. Tim Street is the Director of Media Relations from the OHSSA. Lots of changes going on there, and we are grateful that you joined us today. And there is more Ohio Sports Magazine coming up next right here on the Ohio News Network.
Did you know we have another station? More Buckeyes, more play-by-play, more everything.
Set your second preset to AM 1460 or 97.1 FM HD2. Or listen on the Fan app.
Your home for almost too much football. The Fan.
Get ready for the big game and stock up on home team favorites like buy 5, save $5 deals at Meijer. Mix or match hundreds of items like assorted varieties of DiGiorno frozen pizza, 24 packs of Coca-Cola or Pepsi products, plus deposit where applicable, and Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue or marinade sauce. Buy 5, save 5 this week at Meijer. That's the good life. A good deal better. Exclusions apply. See all deals in-store or in the Meijer app.
Hey, can we talk? It's a new year and I need to move on. We had a great run, but you're old now. So I'm trading you in at Great Lakes Kia.
And new Kias are under $5 a day.
That's less than lunch.
Lease new Kia K4, K5, and Sorrentos. All 3 under $5 a day. At Great Lakes Kia.
That's only $149 a month for 24 months.
Yes, new 25 Kia K5 LXS, K4 LXS, and Sorrento LX. Standard with 3rd row seating. All 3 under $5 a day.
That Kia Sorrento is hot.
And we've got 0% financing.
But what if I'm not good enough for credit?
If you've got a job, you ride.
Under $5 a day.
Great cars, great people, Great Lakes Kia. GreatLakesKia.com. Want to take it for a test drive?
Oh, he needs to meet my parents first. To qualified buyers, visit GreatLakesKia.com for details.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Well, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu.
Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting rules for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop, opt out. Consult a doctor prior to use.
Wow, you look amazing. What have you been doing?
I'm sure you've heard of Ozempic, Wegovy, and the other GLP-1 medications, right? Well, I found this great company called Zelfie. If you qualify, their providers can prescribe medications like Ozempic and Wegovy and other GLP-1 medications that are 80 to 90% less expensive, all 100% online.
I can get GLP-1 medications for 80 to 90% less and do it all online? No doctor's office or pharmacy?
Yes, Zelfie can provide semaglutide or tirzepatide, the active ingredients in Ozempic and other expensive GLP-1s, but for 80 to 90% less and shipped directly to your door.
How do I get started with Zelfie?
Just send them a text.
Text CORE to 200-300 to get started today with Zelfie. Get the same active ingredients in Wegovy or Ozempic, but for 80 to 90% less and 100% online. Don't wait. Text CORE to 200-300 right now for a link to your exclusive offer. Text CORE to 200-300. That's CORE to 200-300. CORE to 200-300.
Fan weather.
From the Logan AC and Heat Services Weather Center.
quiet Sunday morning with temperatures in the mid-20s. Temperatures will stay steady in the mid-20s all day, but snow showers develop in the afternoon, and we could see up to an inch of accumulation. Some snow showers may be heavy at times. Then overnight, snow diminishes and our sky clears. Low temperatures in the low single digits near zero. Wind chill values 10 to 20 below on Martin Luther King Day morning. It'll be a sunny but cold day with highs near 10. Wind chill values below negative 10 throughout the day. I'm meteorologist Mike Joyce on 97.1 The Fan.
We used to have a billboard with our host's face on it, but only ugly people work here now.
You mama say you ugly, hey!
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. This is ONN.
I'm sure by now you know Ohio State won the College Football National Championship this past Monday night in Atlanta, Georgia. The Buckeyes beat Notre Dame 34-23. It was the first college football championship in the expanded 12-team college football playoff era. It's the 9th national championship in program history for Ohio State. The Buckeyes went on a historic 4-game run through the playoffs, beating AP top 10 teams Tennessee, Oregon, Texas, and Notre Dame. Paul Feinbaum covers college football at large for ESPN. He joined Bo Bishop earlier this week on ONN affiliate WBNS FM in Columbus. Paul says the playoff run by Ohio State after that loss to Michigan is one of the great redemption stories in the sport.
I think everybody listening knows where this program was, and really to see it come back. And I think you're right. A loss would have really been hard to handle because of all the most obvious flashpoints, the most talented team, the best team, the margin of victory. But ultimately, it would have still been difficult for Ryan Day to swallow based on everything else. Instead, really, so many things are coming out now about him, which I'm sure you and many of your audience knew, but the rest of the country has taken notice.
Yeah, and take a notice for Ryan as well. And you mentioned certainly the Feldman story and many of the others that have come out about everything that followed the loss to Michigan. When I think back to this run, Paul, and I'm curious, I mean, we talk every week, but like none of us here were sure what we would see against Tennessee. That was really that could have gone about a billion different ways. Nobody knew, and I think a great deal of credit goes to Ryan for the way that he bunkered in and got his team calloused and believing the way that they did. And I think when you look at this run, it really all starts with the way they played against Tennessee. What do you make of that one? I know that's over a month ago now, but as kind of the catalyst for this run.
Well, there was a great unknown. I think by the time we got to the second and third game, the expectations and the odds had changed. But Tennessee was a troubled team, but it was still explosive. The defense was elite. And there was just a general fear of what would Ohio State look like. And I think on top of that, I mean, all the stories about the army of Tennessee fans really overshadowed the build up to the game. But I think the way the explosion occurred so quickly, we all started. It's almost like we hit the refresh button and said, "Okay, we better take a different look at this Buckeye team." And the one thing I'll say about Ryan Day, unlike a lot of coaches, he didn't talk. He didn't say anything. I mean, you may certainly. I know you know a lot more than most of us, and you heard things internally. But I thought that was really the remarkable story because so many coaches now just have to clap back, and he never did.
No, he didn't. And for those of us that know him pretty well, I think it fits his character a little bit that he didn't do that. I think it's pretty authentic to who he is as a person. Since Nick Saban retired, which is just about a year ago when he did, kind of shocking for some of us that he did decide to do that. To me, Paul, there feels like there's been this race for who's got next in the sport. And I don't proclaim that not going to pretend that anybody's going to have a Saban run. But in terms of who's at the top of the sport, that's kind of what I felt the Texas-Ohio State game was about. And obviously Georgia's right there too. Is Ryan Day now, he's in the pole position, is he not? And this Buckeye program with him?
Unquestionably, because the template has been formulated, and really a lot of places are going the other way, Alabama being one of them. I was talking to a reporter yesterday who said there's just a fatigue factor there. There's an apathy. So you move them off the board, and it really comes down to Georgia and Texas from the SEC. And listen, I don't know where Penn State is. I never had faith in Penn State. I mean, they just, for all the reasons we said ad nauseum, even though they look very good for 25, but Ohio State has always been there. They just haven't always delivered. So to me, I'm saying something that's very obvious to many people, but I thought it was a little sad for me to see Gene Smith not being the athletic director for a program that he built. And I say that knowing Ross Bjork very well, but it just the idea of Ross Bjork just kind of parachuting into town and getting to be the winning athletic director bothered me a little bit.
I'll pass that along. I know he listened, so he no doubt heard that. You'll probably get a text, would be my guess on that, my friend.
It won't be the first.
It won't be the first. No, I bet not.
We'll be back with more Ohio Sports Magazine next on the Ohio News Network.
A.J. Hawk won a national title, a Super Bowl, and a Lombardi Award, but his weekly appearance on Morning Juice Fridays at 8:33 is the real highlight of his career. If he tells you otherwise, he's lying.
Sponsored by FanDuel.
The Fan.
Through the magic of modern technology, I'm coming to you from inside your garbage disposal.
Hey, what are you doing down here?
I was telling folks about Who are you?
Garbage disposal monster. I eat the things people put in here. Nom 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 nom.
Oh?
Sometimes I get sick.
I was just about to say, the pros who knows from Apex are brilliant at fixing garbage disposals. You're really a monster?
Ah, look here. All right, these teeth, they're all busted.
Oh.
They're for food, not forks. You hear up there?
Gee, what else?
Crazy noises like clingety, 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 clingety. Call Apex Pros.
Sure.
Sometimes I smell funny.
I didn't want to draw attention to it.
Call Apex Pros.
And what's going on now there?
Smoking. It's a bad habit. We're not supposed to smoke.
Well, you heard it straight from the garbage disposal monster. Call the pros who knows. Apex Pros.
Hi, it's Alex, the Apex Bear. We are the pros who knows, the official plumber of the Columbus Blue Jackets. ApexPros.com.
Nom 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 nom.
At Planet Fitness, we're declaring it. This is the year of getting stronger. And future stronger you can get started now by saving $28 or more when you join today. You in? We have all the best-in-class equipment you could ever need to keep stepping it up. And you can work out your way on your time at any convenient location near you. Most open 24 hours. So let's do this. Join Planet Fitness today and save $28 or more. Just $1 down, $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends January 31st. See Home Club for details.
Need inspiration? Shop Kroger for thousands of appetizing ingredients that inspire countless mouth-watering meals with savings beyond low prices. Like digital coupons worth over $600 each week and up to $1 off per gallon at the pump. So you can get big flavors and big savings. Kroger, fresh for everyone. Fuel restrictions apply.
Save big on 2-liter bottles of Coca-Cola, Pepsi, or 7-Up. Select varieties are just $1.49 each with your card and digital coupon. Kroger, fresh for everyone.
Hey, can we talk? It's a new year and I need to move on. We had a great run, but you're old now. So I'm trading you in at Great Lakes Kia.
And new Kias are under $5 a day.
That's less than lunch.
Lease new Kia K4, K5, and Sorrentos. All three under $5 a day at Great Lakes Kia.
That's only $149 a month for 24 months.
Yes, new 25 Kia K5 LXS, K4 LXS, and Sorrento LX. Standard with third row seating. All three under $5 a day.
That Kia Sorrento is hot.
And we've got 0% financing.
But what if I'm not good enough for credit?
If you've got a job, you ride.
Under $5 a day.
Great cars, great people, Great Lakes Kia. GreatLakesKia.com. Want to take it for a test drive?
Oh, he needs to meet my parents first. To qualified buyers, visit GreatLakesKia.com for details.
Everyone deserves a fast and reliable connection. One that helps better their everyday through the things they value most. Friends and family, education and career. A connection that opens pathways to opportunity and builds roads to a better future. At Spectrum, we're committed to delivering just that every single day. Because with the right connection, anything is possible. That's Life Unlimited. That's Spectrum.
It's almost Football Friday. All play and no work.
Sponsored by Tansky Sawmill Toyota.
Your home for football, The Fan. This is ONN.
Well, while everybody is still buzzing about Ohio State beating Notre Dame and winning the national championship, the one person who had a unique view of all of it, Matt Andrews, from both down on the sideline and in the locker room after the game. Matt, let's first talk about what it was like during the course of the game on the sideline there in Atlanta.
Paul, I felt like there was never a question as to if this team was going to finish the deal. It got a little restless, however, third quarter, fourth quarter, as the Irish started their comeback. But it was good down there. It was a very even crowd. I felt it was about 50-50. Okay. A lot of Buckeye fans behind us where we were standing, and then across the way, of course, in the corner where the Irish fans were gathered. But it was a good atmosphere. It was a loud atmosphere. The scoreboard there, as you saw from your corner booth, it's a 360 spinning angles, just wild view. And you look up and you look one way and you're seeing it sort of a flat view, and then you look to the side a little bit and it's tilted. So it was very unique down there. The sideline perspective was crazy in that fans were everywhere, donors were everywhere, people that weren't supposed to be down there were being issued out. So you had to have that green pass on to be down there for sure.
Well, it's good to hear they were policing it a little bit.
They were.
Were you still on the sideline when Will Howard hit Jeremiah Smith with that long 50-some-yard pass to pretty much set up the field goal that kind of decided things?
Yeah, it sure was, Paul. And the first thing I remember is watching the Ohio State players and coaches react. And then, as you know, RJ Day, Ryan's son, is very visible down there on the sideline. And he was running back and forth, kind of high-fiving folks. And it got to be bedlam a little bit down there. But at that point, you knew they had it in the bag. You felt like they needed a field goal to feel good about it and get that operation underway and successfully done. But it was a moment where being on that sideline, it's one I'll never forget as the season has gone.
So what was it like going in the locker room?
Interesting. A lot of cigar smoking, and I think that was by design, according to what you hear from the CFP post-game stuff. There were media gathering, waiting to get in. There were 2 entrances to the media room, which made it difficult because a lot of guys didn't know where to go when they realized where you were supposed to be going. It was kind of a helter-skelter mad rush to get in for that open locker room time.
Yeah, we've been given the indication that cigars were endorsed by the College Football Playoff Committee. Whether that's true or not, who the devil knows.
That's right.
The other interesting thing about what happened after the game, and I don't think you saw it, but Coach Day and some of the players being taken on a golf cart to the post-game press conference, which was delayed because of a mishap with a young lady driving the golf cart.
I heard and saw it and had a chuckle, but I did know that they were getting on a golf cart to go to their breakout room session. That's the thing. Nothing is a one spot, Jerry World or here in Atlanta. You've got different rooms where players are told to go. The open locker room, which is where a lot of the media wants to go, but to get the good sound, which you guys got some of that from the committee up in the booth, and we're able to air that. But that all is in different areas, so that makes it tough. But when that young lady was leaving with Coach Day, and I think Carrie Hoyt was on the back as well, or at least close by, it was part of Jerry Emick's plan to get everybody where they were going, to get the proper media and the people allowed to speak who they were going to speak to.
There's a lot of people to be happy for Ohio State winning this national championship. At the top of the list, Ryan Day and his family, for all of the things that they've been through. From your perspective, Matt, what were you able to see as far as the emotions exhibited by Ryan Day?
More of his family. Ryan didn't show a ton of emotion down there. You could see a sense of relief. But to see Nina and the kids, I mentioned RJ, the daughters, and there were upper management people at Ohio State in the Big Ten that were around them, surrounding them, making sure they knew where to go. That was really the kind of the take a deep breath moment that you saw. Nina, as I understand, was able to sit down and kind of relax and enjoy it. But there was a moment when it was very, very important to the family to be able to take that deep breath.
Matt, thank you. Appreciate
Thank you,
it.
buddy. Enjoyed it.
We'll be back with more Ohio Sports Magazine next on the Ohio News Network.
Hey, folks, it's game day, and the betting's going to be intense, Drew.
You said it, Dave, but a good pregame routine keeps betting responsible.
That's right. You got to pause before you play.
Good call. Sports betting is hot, but it can be risky.
And pausing to set limits is an all-star move.
That's right, Dave. If you bet on sports, pause before you play to set limits, recognize the risk, and know when to stop.
Learn more at pausebeforeyouplay.org.
The ONN Daily Podcast. Get a recap of all the day's news from across the state.
ONN affiliate WBNS TV reports.
Haley Kirby reporting in downtown Toledo.
From the State House, Kevin Landers.
ONN Canton.
ONN affiliate WKYC TV in Cleveland explains.
In Marietta, Brett Wharf, ONN News.
Emma Henderson in Genoa.
The ONN Daily Podcast. Listen at ONNradio.com or wherever you download your favorite podcasts from the Ohio News Network.
I don't know what I want to do. I'm just not sure that college is right for me. Have you considered a career in dental assisting? I love my job as a dental assistant. I have flexible work hours, the money is good, and I get to work in a professional, people-oriented dental office. What I really love about my job is knowing that I give people a healthy smile.
For more information about becoming a dental assistant, contact your high school guidance counselor. Or if you are no longer in school, talk to a dentist in your community or visit ODA.org. This message is brought to you by the members of the Ohio Dental Association.
Hello, it's John Kozik, founder and president of TurboTrack Realty, and I buy houses as is fast for cash. Call me today for an all-cash offer on any of your properties, and we can close within days at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Do you own a property that's outdated and needs thousands of dollars in repairs? Great, I'll buy it. Give us a call today for an all-cash offer at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000. Would it be convenient for you if you could simply take what you wanted and leave the rest behind? Great, I'll buy it. I buy vacant properties, inherited homes, divorce situations, death in the family, apartment buildings, rental portfolios. I even buy my tenant won't pay me the rent houses. Call TurboTrack Realty today for an all-cash offer and speak with one of our friendly staff members at 614-470-2000, 614-470-2000.
Have you ever thought about having a podiatric physician examine your feet? Doctors of Podiatric Medicine set broken bones, perform wound care, and remove bunions. Common health issues that they treat include ingrown or fungal nails, corns, warts, and skin problems like athlete's foot. Foot exams are easy and can prevent many foot problems. If you can't walk, work, or enjoy sports activities without pain, what are you waiting for? To find a podiatric physician who is a member of the Ohio Foot and Ankle Medical Association, visit associationsadvanceohio.com.
The Fan, Ohio sports destination. Now back to Ohio Sports Magazine on the Ohio News Network. Once again, here's Jay Fox.
Now let's get some highlights from the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show. Here's producer Bodie Wells to set the scene.
Thanks, Jay. On the show this week, the guys discussed Mel Kiper Jr.'s latest 2025 NFL mock draft, which has the Browns selecting Travis Hunter with the second overall pick.
The Browns better damn well be right that quarterback's not going to be good.
Yeah, it's going to look...
Because if they trade down and then that guy becomes a good quarterback that they could have taken...
You're right. No, you're right.
That's what I've been saying the whole time. Like, you can't... It's almost you can't afford... Like, you can't afford not to have a quarterback. Like, if they want to trade down, they better be damn sure.
And to that point, that's risky, right? If I'm Andrew Berry, who has a... And I'm going to be kind here... who has a spotty draft record, and I'm being kind.
Oh, yeah.
If I had to put his draft record in either been good or bad, it's been bad. And I don't think anybody would disagree with this.
Yeah.
If I'm Andrew Berry, I have to have a guy that I think 5 years from now is not only on my roster, but has played at an all-pro level or a Pro Bowl level. And I don't think that guy is there at quarterback, that you can really relax at night saying, I don't have to worry about this guy. I think the guys that you don't have to worry about, Carter and Hunter, to me, those are the guys. And Andrew Berry better get this right, because he can't have another bad year.
The problem is, it's just the quarterback is so much more important than everything else.
I understand that.
Those guys don't turn around franchises.
And Barry and Stefanski can't
can't go through another year of 4 or 5 wins.
Oh, no.
Like, they're hoping and praying, I'm sure, that they can find a quarterback at number 2 that can come in here and play right away and help them.
To catch the full breakdown, just search for the Ultimate Cleveland Sports Show on YouTube. Make sure to hit that subscribe button and enjoy their daily content covering all things Cleveland sports. We'll be back to wrap up this week's Ohio Sports Magazine show here on the Ohio News Network.
What's the best way to make sure you don't miss any of your favorite fan shows? Oh no! Download the Fan app, silly.
Ah, damn it, I knew that.
App Store, Google Play, or just scream right at your phone. Psst, you can also listen to Buckeye games. Do it now.
Get ready for the big game and stock up on home team favorites like buy 5, save $5 deals at Meijer. Mix or match hundreds of items like assorted varieties of DiGiorno frozen pizza, 24 packs of Coca-Cola or Pepsi products, plus deposit where applicable, and Sweet Baby Ray's barbecue or marinade sauce. Buy 5, save 5 this week at Meijer. That's the good life. A good deal better. Exclusions apply. See all deals in-store or in the Meijer app.
You still thinking job change in the new year?
Yeah, I need something that's in high demand and more stable in this economy.
IT?
Yeah, cybersecurity, maybe even AI.
That's what I did.
Really? How?
Went to My Computer Career. You don't need any prior experience, and you could start your new career in a matter of months. A lot of IT pros go to school there, too, to level up.
Sweet. Are classes online or on campus?
Both.
Well, I'll check it out. Thanks.
Make this your year. Take the free career evaluation now at mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
Through the magic of modern technology, I'm coming to you from inside your garbage disposal.
Hey, what are you doing down here?
I was telling folks about Who are you?
Garbage disposal monster. I eat the things people put in here. Nom 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 nom.
Oh?
Sometimes I get sick.
I was just about to say, the pros who knows from Apex are brilliant at fixing garbage disposals. You're really a monster?
Ah, look here. These teeth?
Yeah?
They're all busted.
Oh.
They're for food, not forks. You hear up there?
Gee, what else?
Crazy noises like clingety, 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 clingety. Call Apex Pros.
Sure.
Sometimes I smell funny.
I didn't want to draw attention to it.
Call Apex Pros.
And what's going on now there?
Smoking. It's a bad habit. We're not supposed to smoke.
Well, you heard it straight from the garbage disposal monster. Call the pros who knows. Apex Pros.
Hi, it's Alex, the Apex Bear. We are the pros who knows, the official plumber of the Columbus Blue Jackets. ApexPros.com.
Nom 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 nom.
At Planet Fitness, we're declaring it. This is the year of getting stronger. And future stronger you can get started now by saving $28 or more when you join today. You in? We have all the best-in-class equipment you could ever need to keep stepping it up. And you can work out your way on your time at any convenient location near you. Most open 24 hours. So let's do this. Join Planet Fitness today and save $28 or more. Just $1 down, $15 a month, cancel anytime. Deal ends January 31st. See Home Club for details.
Texting privacy policy and terms and conditions posted at textplan.us. Texting rules for recurring automated text marketing messages. Message and data rates may apply. Reply stop, opt out. Consult a doctor prior to use.
Wow, you look amazing. What have you been doing?
I'm sure you've heard of Ozempic, Wegovy, and the other GLP-1 medications, right? Well, I found this great company called Zelfie. If you qualify, their providers can prescribe medications like Ozempic and Wegovy and other GLP-1 medications that are 80 to 90% less expensive, all 100% online.
I can get GLP-1 medications for 80 to 90% less and do it all online? No doctor's office or pharmacy?
Yes, Zelfie can provide semaglutide or tirzepatide, the active ingredients in Ozempic and other expensive GLP-1s, but for 80 to 90% less and shipped directly to your door.
How do I get started with Zelfie?
Just send them a text.
Text CORE to 200-300 to get started today with Zelfie. Get the same active ingredients in Wegovy or Ozempic, but for 80 to 90% less and 100% online. Don't wait. Text CORE to 200-300 right now for a link to your exclusive offer. Text CORE to 200-300. That's CORE to 200-300. CORE to 200-300.
Here's a quick 10-second reminder that the Buckeyes have won the Natty. Also, we are all the games, and we always will. Thank you. Your home of the Buckeyes, The Fan. Now back to Ohio Sports Magazine on the Ohio News Network. Once again, here's Jay Fox.
I'm Jay Fox, thanking Tim Street, Neil Sika, and Nicole Sheeran for being with us this week on Ohio Sports Magazine. Thanks to all of our Locked On podcast contributors this week as well. For Bodie Wells, Eric Reeser, and Paul Keels, I'm Jay Fox. Thanks for listening to Ohio Sports Magazine. Join us next week right here on the Ohio News Network.